Hello, everyone. Welcome to Newly Forged, Forged in Ice, episode 3. This is the third episode of our Critical Role-inspired series, Adventures in Wildmount, on the world of Exandria. Thank you, I've Got It, for the Pikachus. Good to see you again. We are down in Amber this week. Matt is delayed a little bit. So we're gonna keep you entertained until he shows his handsome face. But I've got two wonderful friends with me. Why don't you two introduce yourselves and your characters, and why don't you share something about your character that perhaps the audience hasn't been able to learn or see yet? Little tidbit for you. So let's start at the top of the stack with Tanner.
The two-person stack.
Yeah. Well, there's still 4 stacks, so it's,
Oh, okay.
Appropriately, we have the top and the bottom.
I'm Tanner. I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not gonna go there.
I was right there with you. I was waiting for you to do it, and you kind of let me down.
No.
Not gonna lie.
I'm sorry. I don't want to possibly get in trouble. It was I'm playing Alcan. What am I at this? Jesus Christ, a human fighter. Yes, the most basic of basic. And I guess one side of him that hasn't really come out yet is the having more so just gotten out of boot camp, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So you're green.
Yeah.
New recruit.
Why do you think I've missed so much? Although at this point I just blame, because our offshoot campaign of the main one, our dice rolls are fucking atrocious.
It's
and
true.
Every time we do a spin-off from our main campaign and this one, our dice rolls are atrocious. So
it's like the curse of the spin-off. It's the curse of the mini adventure.
Yeah. I just looked at that today and I was like, oh man. Yeah.
Wonderful. Cool. Well, thank you, Tanner. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4 stack. We got Mike.
From the stack, that's me. Mike, I play Phineas Skyrain. He's a Dragonblood, Dragonborn Artificer. And something you may not know about him, and I don't see this coming up anytime soon. If you've noticed my character sheet, one of his dislikes is surprise birthday parties. And again, I don't foresee Phineas's birthday coming up and being a moment in this spin-off. So the reason, though, why he hates surprise birthday parties is that he himself don't have any friends that would throw him a surprise birthday party.
Aww.
Explains a lot.
I know, it's a little bit sad. Granted, though, he is a bit of an asshole, so take it as you will. But there you go. Learn something new.
Surprised.
Que surprise. And just in time to introduce himself to the group, we've got Matt.
What's up, group? I'm Matt, playing not Spoot. Elixir-Ross. I don't know. I don't even know how to say his name anymore. Elixir-Ross.
Ross.
Ross for short.
Just Ross.
That's gonna be so hard to get away from. Yeah, he's a Ravenite Dragonborn Warlock with a Hexblade patron. I'm assuming that's what we're doing, right? Introductions, did I do it?
Yes, and share with us a little tidbit, a little something that we haven't gotten to see about your character yet.
Stay tuned, because once I figure it out, you'll know.
Well, you know a few things. Like we learned that Alcan is a fairly green recruit just out of boot camp, and that the reason Phineas doesn't like surprise birthday parties is because he doesn't have any friends who would throw him one.
Oh,
Isn't
that's
that
so
something
sad.
surprising?
I have a similar story, except all my friends died when his homeland crashed into my poverty-stricken
All
world.
my friends are dead. Such a good book.
We have something in common.
We're not friends.
I know all of your backstories, and your 3 characters specifically have so much overlap in common that it is hilarious to me.
Full disclosure, they were made completely separately with the DM.
It's true.
Mhm.
It is true, unlike last time where I think a couple of us tried to sort some stuff out. Yeah, I don't know. What does he do? That's interesting. Totally blanking on this one. I'm so sorry.
All right. Well, fine. Be that way.
I'll think of it later and I'll shout it out in the middle of a battle or something.
Fair enough.
Holding you to it.
And I am Jared. I am your humble dungeon master here on Nuuli Forged, and I play everyone and everything else that is not the 4 player characters. And something cool about the world of Wildmount people may not know is that there was no real plan when Matt started creating it. He created the town of Stillben, which was like a swamp town first, for a one-shot that he did for Liam O'Brien's birthday, and invited a few friends over, and then most of those friends went on to keep playing and became the sensation that is Critical Role. So all of Exandria is birthed from a swamp.
I have a lot of common with that, actually.
You do, being from Georgia.
And Spooch.
And Spoot as well.
Sorry, I'll quit talking about the...
No, you're good. Well, now that we are well met and ready to go, let's dive into Last Time on Forged in Ice. Last time on Forged in Ice, Bloodwen Battleaxe returned to life through the intervention of some strange angelic figure, but with a cost. Gone was her connection to the fires of the hells, which were her heritage, and instead she is, for lack of a better word, emptier. She is lacking something inside, and her skin has become ashen. Her hair has kind of dulled from its luster and maybe is streaked with a little white or gray, and there are prominent dark circles around her eyes now, perpetually. Nevertheless, her personality remains intact and her body is strong. She rejoined the group and they all made their way to Croaker Cave, a cave on the north side of Palebank Village, which the locals avoid due to the giant ice frogs that tend to live there. When they arrived, they creeped their way in and they battled many bandits, giant ice frogs, before facing off with the dwarven priest of Tiamat, Hulil Luton, who was indeed suffering from the same affliction as both her sister and the deceased explorer Ergon Wenth and curiosity shop owner Pelk. Hulil revealed that she had learned that her malady is called Frigid Woe and comes from somewhere up north in Eiselcross, the strange and mostly unexplored frozen region that is home to all sorts of creatures and fascinating ruins across the frigid sea there. She also agreed to return the stolen items to the party in exchange for a cure when the heroes find it, sort of forcing an agreement out of Bloodwen and the others. Since she revealed that she had sold the cracked blue vial, which was the source of the disease, to a merchant who was staying at the Jolly Dwarf Inn with his family. This added impetus behind them. The party left Croaker Cave and hurried back towards Palebank Village, which is where we find you all now, rushing from the mouth of Croaker Cave. You are all headed back to the town of Palebank Village, and the inn called the Jolly Dwarf, hopefully before this merchant and his family leave town, which would make tracking them down a bit harder. As
What time of day is it?
You got there around like mid-morning, so it's about a little afternoon now.
Okay.
Between your various rests and exploits and conversations. And falling down a hole. Which one of you did?
It's true. I got owned by a frog also.
Many people did. It's okay. Nevertheless, you are rushing back to Palebank Village along the coastline. And Elixeros, you hear in your head at this time from that same sort of strong feminine sounding voice. You're doing good, making choices. That priestess, she commanded respect.
I don't know if I can talk back to this voice, so I'm going to keep that to myself.
Don't you think she had power? Others feared her, and yet a fickle deity embraced her and gave her abilities. Impressive, no? A true leader.
I think I got picked incorrectly.
Well, it's talking to Elixeros, not Matt, so.
It's true. Dang it. Okay, all right. So, like, I suppose I have a feeling Elixeros probably has some kind of like minor tell when this is happening because this is new to him. Because obviously this is happening in his head. Maybe like the first couple of times he like looks around, like while it's going on, he's like,
Do I notice this strange behavior coming from Ross?
What's your passive perception?
It is passive. 11.
No, you don't quite catch it. Yeah, you get the sense that like you haven't tried yet, but you could potentially respond. You haven't tried. You just hear this voice in your head occasionally.
you know what? I'm not right now. Actually, I'm gonna assume this is a one-way communication at the moment.
Okay.
And I'm surrounded by people. I'm like, I'm already like I'm already looking weird. Like someone, the voice again. Oh yeah. So I'll try to like play it off. But where are we right now? We still like, are we still in the caves?
No, you have left the cave and you are on the beach rushing back
Gotcha.
to
Okay.
Palebank Village.
That was going to be my plan, I suppose, was say we got to get back to town, but we are.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you had ended last week there. So you all make it back to town. The cave was only a couple miles north along the coast, so it's pretty in. It's not a hard trek. You know, it's a little cold out, but nothing too crazy. And you're heading straight to the Jolly Dwarf, I assume?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool. So some of you have stayed there, and you're all familiar enough with it. It's a cozy 2-story inn, and some of you would know, having met this individual. It's run by a dwarf named Arl Bortok. Phineas and Elixeros, you both interacted with this individual to stay there the previous evening. So you burst through the door after having jogged your couple of miles here, and the downstairs of this inn is a big open tap room. and there is a gray-haired dwarf behind the bar, and you can see 2 human males with 2 tiefling children kind of laughing amongst themselves as they're having a bit of a slightly later lunch, maybe, but some sort of meal. But the dwarf sees you. Ah, you're back and you brought friends. Do come in. What can I get for you?
What was the dwarf's name again?
Arl. Arl. A-R-L.
Arl,
Aye.
see you again. Random question. Is there, one moment, sorry. Is there an Irvin staying here by any chance?
Aye, that's him and his husband right over there. Pointing at the human couple.
Beautiful. Hold that thought. I'll be back for a drink in a moment. And I'll
Of course.
make a beeline, I guess. The short distance to Irvin.
Yeah. One of the men catches up to you, or sees you as you approach, because they're kind of like looking at each other, and you're kind of coming in from a direction where only one of them can see you at the moment. But he kind of nods and says, "Oh, hello. How are you? Welcome. What can I do? Can I help you?"
Yes. You can call me Ross. Any chance that you have recently made a purchase deal from a old dwarven woman? Perhaps collecting a cracked blue vial? I won't say the cracked part, a blue vial.
Yes. Actually, well, I didn't buy it. My husband here, Irvin, did. I'm Fenton. Fenton Tethvik.
Pleasure to meet you, Fenton.
Irvin. And Fenton is like this dark-skinned individual with like kind of long, like almost cornrow kind of style, but swept with like the cornrows from the back down his back, like really long, and then the side cornrows kind of weave intricate braids that he keeps over his shoulders. It's very interesting style. Irvin is a much paler individual with just like kind of balding and like a little bit of like a blonde comb over kind of deal. Yes, I did purchase these items from Julio something or other, I think. What about it? We met her on the road as we were coming up to the village, and she said she was moving and needed to get rid of a few things to pay for travel. So she offered me to buy what she claimed was an Aeorian relic at actually quite a great price, if I can tell you. I'm going to sell it in Uthadern. We're of course we are merchants, you see, and selling an Aeorian relic is not too shabby.
Irvin, would you mind? Would you like to speak privately about this? I'm interested in maybe taking this relic off your hands.
Oh, and my husband here is a business partner, so you are free to talk amongst us both. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to.
And there's a loud crash as everybody looks over, and the two little girls, 2 little tiefling girls, have like knocked over like 3 chairs at a table, and Irvin turns and goes, "Honor, magic. Be careful about these things. Put it back together. Put it back rather. Come on, Papa and I. We have to talk a little business here. So keep playing, but don't destroy the tavern. I don't have so much money." Sorry about that. You know, kids. They're sweet, but they're a handful.
Don't have a clue. I trust you. So I've got some bad news. I have strong reasons to believe that you've been handed a faulty bit of merchandise.
What, you mean is this counterfeit? I mean, I was going to have it checked out before I sold it, but still, the price was worth it if it pans out.
Where is it now, if you don't mind me asking? Is it on your person? Is it in the room? In the building?
Of course, I would not keep such a thing out of my sight. It's right here. And he pulls out a blue vial.
That's okay. You can put that. You can put that back. That's fine.
Okay.
We've
all looked at it. It's very nice.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Are you aware of the sickness that's recently struck our friend? I'm trying to look for his name. Is it Ergon? That had the
that's his name.
Funeral. Our dear friend Ergon from this town recently.
We got in a couple of days ago and heard the funeral. Was that the name? I think so, dear. We don't know. He was ill?
Yeah, so...
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, but I don't understand what this has to do with anything.
I know, I'm sorry. I just ran here from a cave full of ice frogs. It's been a bit of a day. I'll try to cut to the chase. He was the original recipient of this artifact, it turns out, and we believe that vial and its contents are what made him sick. Because it turns out one of these has a crack in it. And the one that you're holding happens to be that very vial. So this is quite a dangerous object now, and you may have put yourselves and your family and perhaps other people at risk.
You mean the contents of the vial or just touching the vial? My entire family has touched it.
That's not good.
Yeah, this is... What am I supposed to do? Do you have a cure? Yes? There's surely a priest in town who can get rid of this, yeah?
So we've been tasked with trying to find a cure, which we are slowly trying to piece together as we are learning a lot of this.
Slowly? This sounds like a very important thing.
Well, we just learned about it yesterday, which is why we came to warn you before you left town and sold it to someone else. I would advise probably quarantining yourself and your family.
No, well, yes. Fenton, give me your handkerchief. Fenton hands it over, and you see Irvin takes the vial out and puts it in this thing and wraps it up like a little package so that it's all tight, and he does one of those ties where it twists in on itself and it just is like a little thing, and he puts it on the table and slides it over to you. Take it, get rid of it, test it, cure whatever's in it, and then come back to my family, okay?
Okay, great. And I really think you should probably stay in town. Otherwise, it'll be kind of hard to track you down.
Well, yes, we will be here because you need to get the cure, and then you come cure us, yes?
Absolutely. I'm so sorry. We'll be in touch.
But I should hope so. What was your name? Ross, you said?
Yes, Ross.
Okay, and you are the one we should look for? You are official in this village now, yes?
Not exactly. I think you should, if you have any questions, call upon the elder of the village, whose name I am presently looking up in my notes, because there's a lot of names that we've learned in 2 days.
Wait, Elro, I think it is.
Elro, thank you. Elroy. Thank you.
Very well. Magic honor. Up to the rooms. We have to take naps. Everybody should take a nap. And Fenton is just wide-eyed and looking at the kids, and you can see the concern on his face.
I'm gonna go speak with Elroy now and let him know to keep in touch with you if anything develops.
Yes, we will stay in our rooms, but it would be much appreciated if you could. What is? And you see Fenton kind of takes the girls off. Now tell me, what can I expect from this? Coughing, sneezing, fever? What is?
From what we can tell, you can expect to very slowly freeze.
Like chills.
Yeah, but a little more on the turning to ice.
Turning to
side of.
Turning to ice?
It does seem to take a while, though. But it is quite serious. That's why we're working out a cure.
Well, I will not keep you, because I need you to get this and make sure the family is okay. So, thank you for telling me, but and he kind of just like goes off unsure of how to end the conversation.
I'm unsure too, to be honest. And I was looking for the name. We heard the name of what we think this is called, don't we?
The Frigid Woe.
The Frigid Woe. I might mention that. Like we think it's a disease known as the Frigid Woe.
I have never heard of this, so it turns you to ice. I can imagine it's aptly named.
Try to stay warm.
Very well. Good day. And he kind of meanders off after his family.
I'm not really good at breaking news like that. I'm just learning. Oh well. I suppose we should let Elroy know what has developed.
Probably the best, since he did hire us.
I suppose I'm gonna forget about the drink, I guess. I suppose that's our next stop on this little afternoon tour.
Mm-hmm. So you make your way back to Elro Aldator. He's there. Greetings. How you faring? Any luck on your last lead, eh?
I'm afraid we don't have any good news. We did discover that the correct vial we think is responsible for the sickness was passed to an Irvin Liel, who is staying at the Jolly Dwarf. We just notified him and his family of the danger that he's in and that he should quarantine himself.
Oh, that's terrible. Do you have the vial? Did you get that?
We've got it. I'm trying my best to touch it as little as possible. It's wrapped up in this, and I'll sort of present at arm's length the vial.
Yeah, he takes it from you and he says, well, that is sad news, but it is not the word. I mean, it's good to have this, and this is what you were asked to achieve. Just a moment. And he goes and he puts it down. He became German for a moment there. Sorry.
It's okay. I don't know what I'm doing half the time.
All right. Well, so you found the source of the sickness. That was the contract. So here is the 100 gold that I promised you all. I appreciate both your efforts and your diligence, especially you, Miss Bloodaxe, as you have already died for this purpose. So I suppose then that, well, I suppose it, but I'd be quite appreciative if you could stay in town. You see, I have a feeling I'll be needing your services quite again soon. I'm going to do some research on this and see what I might discover myself. So I'd appreciate it if you didn't kick off.
Considering there's a high chance that we may also have been infected through this, I think it's probably in our best interest to stay.
There's that too, aye.
Well, I guess we have to wait for another lead then.
We'll see what pops up, I suppose. Let me do some research. Is there anything else about this blue vial that you might know that might help me speed up my research?
Well, let's see. Let me look back at my notes here. I mean, I can't remember the last time we touched base. I guess I'll just sort of
before the
recap
Croaker Cave.
Before the Croaker Cave? Yeah, we can sort of... I'll divulge the conversation we had with Uther. Everyone starts with a new, like a U sound here, don't they?
There's a city, Utherdurn.
It's the region.
You're right. Hulil, that's the dwarf who we
Yes.
spoke to. Hulil Luton, our conversation where she got the contraband, we sort of tracked where it went. Now her idea was to sell it off. We've recovered parts of that. Now the broken vial.
Well, you're welcome to whatever you returned. Pilk's not going to be needing it no more, and had no living relatives as far as I'm aware. So it's keep it as an additional payment, I suppose.
Good to know. I'm trying to think now. Back where, speaking of notes, we did learn that we thought this was known as the Blue Death.
Frigid Woe.
Frigid Woe. Something.
I'm just making shit up now. I love it.
Right.
Frigid Woe.
We'll call it something different every time. Which we believe came from Eiselcross. Is that right?
It's possible. It should help me in my research. I'll have to do a little digging, but having a name and a direction and a source is not it's good for the research, and it helps narrow things down quite a bit. So, I appreciate it. I'll be contacting as soon as I can, I'm sure, and I'll check in on this family as well.
Please do. I believe they are going to remain quarantined at the Jolly Dwarf. But it's a family of 4.
Yes, it's quite sad. So hopefully they have not contracted the disease, but we'll have to play it safe, I suppose. Well, here's your gold, and I'll be contacting you as soon as I can.
Out of character, was it 100 split or 100 each?
100 split.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
20.
So if you're equitable about it, it's 25 each.
Well, somebody that just recently passed and also got robbed is not here to sort out their missing gold. That we may or may not know who stole it, but I'll let them sort that out when they're both here. I may or may not have thrown Phineas under the bus last episode.
Oh, I do recall that part of the episode.
Hey.
I believe there was an intimidation check, which you failed.
I am good at that, apparently, failing those checks that I should be good at. Apparently. Anytime I'm around Phineas, I'm like, I got these things, and then I fail them. So it's not really working out through my sass content.
It's fun, though.
But yes, I think for now we'll be equitable and split it 4 ways. So says Ross.
Okay. So you all leave. You divvy up the gold. It is up to you what you will do at this juncture. It's been probably a couple more hours, so it's like early afternoon.
I think I need a drink. Probably head back to the Jolly Dwarf. Everyone's planning on staying in town, I suppose, yeah?
Mm-hmm. I live here.
Yeah, nowhere else to go right now. And apparently this is the only place to grab a drink.
Yeah, there's not really any other bars in town.
All right. Looks like I'm sharing some drinking space with you, Ross.
Oh, well, that sounds delightful. I'll tell you what, first round is on you. How's that?
Not sure I like the sound of that. Let's see what they have.
Oh, I'm a cheap date.
What?
Don't worry, I know the guy. It's great. He gives me a free drink every so often anyway.
The good stuff, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Alkin, you joining us? I know you have a home here, but
No, with the money, Alkin's gonna actually go get food. Go home.
Cool. Alkin, one thing you have noticed over the past time, especially in the Croaker Cave, which was the first time you were like physically close enough to pick up finer details on your companions.
Mm-hmm.
Phineas is wearing kind of traveling type robes, and you don't detect color in your vision. It's just kind of like echo. It's like whatever. But as you were within 5 feet of him for long enough, you were able to pick out a detail on a piece of clothing he had when he like had his cloak back so he could cast a spell or something. And it was an emblem that you know to be to belong to the Solstice Academy. And you know that the Cerberus Assembly they pretty much run the Solstice Academy.
Right, okay.
Something you would have picked up.
We're gonna hold on to that for now.
What? Well, seeing as you're not having drinks with us.
So Alkin goes off, kind of doing his sauntery, cautious, aware walk that you've kind of gotten used to over the past couple of days. And the two of you head off to the tavern. Let's.
The three of us with
three of us. Yes, Bloodwin is there with you as well. She was a little. She saw like the two tiefling girls because both of the children were tieflings, and has been kind of quiet since the possibility of them having contracted this Frigid Woe disease has become more of a reality. So she seems a little introspective. But the three of you head off towards the tavern. Alkin, where would you like to go on your solo adventure?
Oh, I'm just going, like, probably picking up some, going to the butcher and then, like, getting just stuff to cook food.
Okay. Yeah, 3 gold, and you can buy all the stuff you need for your dinner. And probably anything else in terms of foods.
Alright.
Actually, probably 2 gold, actually. There's not a lot of, like, produce up here. So the produce actually costs more than the meat, which is probably, like, a fish.
Yeah.
Because the fish is not so hard. But
the produce and
I hate fish. That's my answer to the question at the start of the episode. I've decided. Ross hates fish.
All right. Fair enough.
Total opposite.
All right. So, Alkin, you gather up stuff. People chat with you. It seems that there is kind of like a hubbub and concern. It seems like word of Pelk has gotten around. And the dwarf, the dwarf woman, has isolated herself in her cabin at the edge of town. There's a lot of like rumors flying around that the whatever killed Ergon is spreading, and everybody's kind of on edge about it.
All right. Is there any like? Is it direct concern that they think it's like in the air or?
No one seems to know like how or why people are supposedly coming down with it. It's just been reported that there's been like 3 cases.
Okay.
Like everybody in town knows about Ergon, and people have only recently learned about Pelk. They know that they did business together, like that's fairly common knowledge. But nobody knows anything about how this dwarf at the edge of town would have gotten sick.
I guess I would just try to tell people that that people think it's, or like the authorities or something like that think it's from like prolonged contact with that individual.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
Nope.
Oh, with a 5. People just kind of like, that's one theory. that we hadn't thought about before. But what if there's more to it? And people just it kind of adds fuel to the fire.
All right, I tried.
You did. And you can finish up your stuff and head on back to your little cabinet, as it were.
Cabinet, pretty much.
Yeah. And make yourself some dinner. Meanwhile, the remaining members end up back at the Jolly Dwarf. And you do see that Arl sees you enter again. Ah, you're back again. What's going on? The Irvin and his family seem to have holed up in their room. Just asking for extra blankets and braziers and whatnot. I don't mind one brazier and extra blankets, but I'm not going to be giving the man like all the braziers I have, you know. It gets cold enough up here in the winter. I have a few, but...
You know, perhaps speak to Elroy if you need extra resources, but they might just be feeling...
Who's Elroy?
Is that not the guy's name? I say to...
Came back, Elroy.
Elroy. Elroy? Elroy? I can't say it.
Row. E-L-R-O-W.
Oh, Elroy.
Yeah, that guy.
I said that right, yeah?
Hey, it's Elroy.
Like
yeah,
that.
he's the leader of the town, as it were. Well,
Yeah.
all right, I'll
Talk to him.
talk to him about it. I'm sure he'll come in. He usually does. Not a problem. So what can I get you? You asked for a drink earlier, and then you didn't come back for.
No, I didn't forget. I just wanted to, we had to finish some business. But, 3 rounds on this gentleman here. He'll take the first, and whatever you recommend. Need something strong.
3 rounds, you say? All right. Something strong? You feeling like whiskey, or are you feeling like a hearty ale?
Hearty ale for me.
Very well. And for you, Mr. Phineas?
Oh, I'll take your finest wine, please.
The finest wine. Very well. And he gets Blood One's order. He comes back with the 3 drinks. That's 12 copper for everything.
Oh, that's such a good price.
Right.
I know, right?
I will toss him 2 silvers.
Thank you, sir. And he takes it. And you notice that Bloodwind is just drinking water. So your 2 drinks cost 12 silver.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That makes sense.
That's still cheaper than the drinks that we get in other games.
Normally, yeah.
It all depends on what you get.
The economy of Nuuli is all over the place.
Ugh. So expensive.
This is a small little town. The whiskey is more burn than flavor.
But you got the hearty ale.
Oh, that's right.
I'll drink whatever you put in front of me.
Yeah.
Jolly.
The ale is hearty, and there's a weird, almost like a saltiness to it that's not unpleasant, but it's a little strange. But it feels like it's one of those ales that was like brewed to be like a meal. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, okay. Can get down with this.
Yeah. So it's very heavy and earth and not kind of earthy, like flavorful, not dirt flavored, but like hearty. As for the wine, it is
Mm-hmm.
light and kind of a slightly blue tinge to it. And it's not like a cordial that it tastes so much like a berry that it's cordial, but it does have like a flavor of like blueberries or something like that.
I dig it.
It's in a little tiny glass compared to the big tankard.
As fine wine should be served.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. You see Phineas just kind of swirl it a little bit, sniff it, listen to it, sniff it again, whisper something to it, bring it up to the light. It just does everything. And then eventually takes one tiny, tiny sip and says, yeah, blueberries. Mm-hmm.
Arl leans over to you, Ross, and is like, you know, he could have just asked what it is. I would have told him it's blueberry ice wine.
I think he enjoys this.
Seems to be
It's
putting
an
on
art.
quite a show, isn't he?
Yeah, you don't know the half of it. By the way, the ale's great. I don't taste any
Oh,
blueberries.
thank
which I
you.
count as a plus in my book.
Well, you'd be surprised that there's actually some in there, actually.
Oh.
My cousin, he brews it out just south of town, you see.
Oh, well, this has certainly been the highlight of my 2 days in town. This inn, I mean.
Happy to provide for you, of course.
You know what? I definitely will be doing another one of these once I finish this. So I'll just go ahead and put in an early order if that's all right.
Ah, of course. You finish. It's another 4 copper for your beverage.
But
I got this round. Don't worry.
each one is like the calories of a good berry.
That's what I'm hoping, actually. This is much cheaper than shopping for... And all they have around here is fish, from what I hear. Yuck. 4 copper, you say? Let me do some math.
So is there anything you want to discuss or ignore or each other? Like, it's up to you. If you want to interact, this is an opportunity for you to do so.
You know, I'm going to try. I'm not really sure how much Eiselcross wants to, but he'll open up the discussion. How are we sitting, by the way? Is it like Phineas, me, Bloodman? I know we can't really talk to Bloodman tonight, but...
Yeah, Bloodwind's kind of just like staring at this glass of water she's got.
Probably has a lot to think about coming back from the dead and all that. So, just curious. It seems like we're going to be spending more time together, whether we like it or not. What brings everyone to town? Couldn't help but notice there weren't many people at this funeral.
Phineas just stares at his drink for a little bit, and then he says, looking for an artifact.
Did you find it?
I don't think so.
That's a shame. It did seem like that would have been the guy.
Yeah, I thought it would be a pretty open shut adventure out here in the boondocks, but nope, I think I don't think what it is that I need to find, I found it.
Interesting. You think it's here still? In this little town in the boondocks?
In this town, no. But I think... Put that name... I cannot find his name.
Probably starts with a U, if I had to guess.
Probably, right?
Who are you looking for?
Ergon.
Oh yeah, sorry, I could have actually helped with that.
Ergon went. I'm guessing he ventured somewhere a little bit farther out from here, and wherever he went, I'd have to go.
Yeah, I might be getting my notes mixed up here. I'm saying this in character. But this stuff came from even further north. Yeah? This Eiselcross place?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Is this artifact you're looking for? Oh, what type is? What are these artifacts that we've come across? They're starts with an A. I'm like legit forgetting the name of the
Aeorian.
Aeorian. Thank you. Is it also Aeorian in nature?
Is it, Jared?
Is what?
The artifact that I'm looking for?
Well, remember, you weren't told to retrieve a
I wasn't
specific artifact.
Anything about it.
Well, no, you were told, like, it's not a specific artifact. Ergon was your contact's supplier of artifacts, and he has not sent her any in a very long time, and she's annoyed about it. And so you are supposed to come back with an Aeorian artifact.
I don't think I ever got that minor detail before. I just heard artifact. That's it.
Maybe you should listen.
Oh.
Speaking of listening, I think I heard
Because we role played the meeting in the first episode.
it's okay. I don't know how chaos works. So. Speaking of not listening,
But I am happy to refresh your memory on these details.
Thank you.
I
Orion.
think while he's looking for that, I think I don't know if I wrote this down because I heard Mike say it, or if, which means it's a bad note, or if he said it out loud in character, but that Ergon's death has Phineas fucked in quotation marks. Did he say that out loud at the funeral? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might just mention that. You know, I'm sorry I couldn't help it to hear that you might have been a bit fucked, as they say, by Ergon's death. I mean, what are you planning to do at this point?
Oh, I mean, that's the thing. He was the guy I was supposed to meet, and to come all this way for him to be dead. It's not good. Not good at all.
Yeah,
so it left me in quite the lurch.
It's a bit strange, especially considering that it's very likely whatever he had, we may also have. Which means we might be spending more time here than we originally planned. Curious what Elro, did I say his name right?
Mm-hmm.
Was going to turn up for us, hopefully sooner than later.
Well, enough about me. What brings you here?
Oh, you know, just passing through, really. Since my home was destroyed, I've just been getting it out and seeing the rest of the world. All that it has to offer. I thought, seen a lot of fire and destruction in my short life, so might come up here and see some ice, snow, snowmen.
Okay.
Yeah,
Seems
it's
like
totally.
you're looking for a sense of balance.
Yeah, you could say that. Fire and ice and all that.
Right. The magic that you do. What's the source of it?
This is an aside. I was really hoping by this time I would have had some kind of like elaborate lie as to what it is, but I didn't quite work that out ahead of time.
You don't look book smart.
Oh,
Is it innate?
Yes. What's innate mean? I'm joking.
Music comes from within.
That I do know. Books, on the other hand, never seen one. I think they burn, traditionally. Are they made of paper?
yikes.
Yeah, no, you're pulling my tail, considering you don't have one.
Oh, snap.
You noticed.
How could I not? You're walking off kilter.
Oh, I thought it
Unbalanced.
made me look taller. But yeah, to answer that question, it's innate. It's just comes from within, very definition. It's not much to say about it other than
Can I do an insight check when he talks about how it's innate, quote unquote?
Yeah, go ahead, make an
Rolling
insight
back
check.
on something.
And Alexaros, you roll either perception or either deception or persuasion, your
Yeah,
choice.
that's a nat 20.
Don't tell me which one you roll. Just roll the d20 and add the appropriate modifier, and let us know what the number is. You can
This
use.
is just a straight up skill check. Like,
Yeah, but you get to choose the skill, but you don't have to tell us which skill you're using.
should I not roll it in to roll 20? Does it need to be a secret? Is that what you mean?
No, you can roll it in roll 20. So, like, you just need to roll a d20 and then add whatever your plus is. You don't need to, like, click the skill on D&D Beyond, because that will tell us
I
which
see
one
what
it
you're
is.
saying.
This offers you a chance to be either deceptive or persuasive as you choose.
Ugh.
Phineas, you think he's giving you bullshit? He seems to be just that kind of guy who just bullshits about everything.
Well, not everything. Most things. I have to say, it's pretty out of character, pretty frustrating that anytime the skills that I've picked for this character don't work on Phineas. It's really annoying.
Dice.
You're right.
Every time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Can't believe you rolled a nat 20 up too. That's just...
You
There's
dick! I almost didn't even want to roll. I'm
There's
just feeling fine. You win.
So Phineas will just look at Ross, blabber on a little bit. And then Phineas will just say, uh-huh. Sips his wine. Well, you owe me the second round as well, so.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Another glass of the North's finest wine.
Arl brings it by. It's 8 copper.
All right, let me do some more math. Oh, I did really bad math.
But you easily can pay that off of the largesse you just accepted. So not a problem for you. The evening goes on. Bloodwen gets a room, goes up to it. You can continue on in your chit-chats. Eventually, you see Elro does enter and nods to you both. Has a quick discussion with Arl, whose eyes go wide, and you can see he points up to the rooms. He comes back down about 5 minutes later, and just kind of nods to you again, and then leaves quickly without saying anything.
Well, I suppose we should save some conversation for the future, considering we're going to be here a bit. I'm going to go settle up with Arl and see if this room is still available.
Mm-hmm.
There it goes.
Yeah, you get the same rooms. It seems that as long as you are on Elro's payroll, for lack of a better term, the room is set aside for you.
Arl, thanks so much. Compliments to your cousin on the hearty ale. I'll be sure to catch this in every night that I'm here, I think.
I'll be sure to pass it along, I'm sure.
And yeah, I'll sort of look back. I don't know if I left first. I assume I did. And I'll look back at the two sitting at the bar and...
Bloodwind's already
shrug.
gone. But yeah.
Oh, that's right. Bloodwind's gone. Just sort of shrug and say, see you tomorrow.
And you wander off.
I pick up my imaginary tail as I go up the stairs.
You all get a full night's rest. When you awaken the next morning, you feel invigorated from a good sleep. Congratulations, you are all level 2!
Yeah.
Boop-a-doo-doo.
More HP!
Yes. If you want to roll HP, go ahead. You can roll that right now in the Roll20 chat. Remember, you just roll whatever your hit die is. Reroll on a 1, so that's fun. And then you can do your level ups. Everybody's just going up in their respective class. Nobody's multi-classing, I believe.
Correct.
I'm choosing a new patron.
Oh, Phineas rolls a 4. That's good, right in the middle. Nice.
I took average.
You took the average. Great.
Do you get the choice if you roll poorly? No, you have to choose before you.
You have to choose before you do it.
Yeah.
Like, you can take the average or you can roll.
With how these rolls have been going, I'm like, "Nyeh."
Yeah. Let me see what I get.
So the average for fighter is 5, right? So you take
Yeah.
5 plus your con mod.
Uh-huh.
That's good.
So I'm at 20.
Nice. So
I
will
think
will you take the average or will you roll there, Matt?
Average.
Which I believe for Warlock it's a D8, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So it's also 4. So great. Everybody's right smack in the middle. Good job. Fantastic. So you all regather. Erlo actually sends a missive to each of you. Asking you to meet him at his office this morning. Or Elro, sorry. Alkin, you're given this message, and the messenger asks, it's this elven woman, part of the grass blades. Elro said I should ask if you need me to read it to you.
If you wouldn't mind.
Which she does, and it just conveys that would you and your group meet him at his office this morning?
Okay. Yeah, I'll head there now.
All right, on. Have a good day. And she goes off on her own business. You all meet and gather. As you enter his office, he looks up at you, and you can see that there's like worry on his face. Greetings, all. I'm sorry to bother you so early, but I felt since you are so invested in this ongoing event that I should probably tell you as quickly as I could. I'm afraid that indeed Mrs. Irvin Fenton and both their daughters, Honor and Magic, have all indeed contracted Frigid Woe. They all are beginning to show signs of the blue veins. Luckily, through my research guided by you and the vial and seeing the blue powder within this thing, I have done a bit of reading and gotten into some more deep lore, if you forgive the lack of a term. It seems that I've only been able to discover one cure to this disease. It It's a milky liquid that the Aeorians used to stow in golden vials in their places of whatever. Stockpiles medicinal, I don't know. My only hope is that wherever Urgon found these blue vials, someone might be able to find the gold ones and get the cure that way. I would be most indebted to you if you could cross up to Eiselcross, follow Urgon's path, and hope you find the cure wherever he found the vials of Frigid Woe. I'll pay you twice the price, 200 gold. I'd remind you that indeed time be of the essence for this family. And
Right.
if any of y'all might have contracted it, which I'm not sure if you have. But none of you have touched the vial or the blue powder, correct?
Outside of very minimal handling, wrapped in a cloth, no, I don't think so.
Then you should be alright. I believe you need to actually contract the powder itself to succumb to the disease, according to my research.
That's good to know. I have heard a lot of rumors going around town. You might want to...
I've already begun sort of disseminating more of the truth. But
Okay.
But I thank you for your concern, Alkin.
So, how are we getting to Eiselcross? And
Well-
how do we know which way they Urgon went first?
Well, I'll tell you what, take the day, get yourselves ready, buy whatever equipment you might think you'll be needing and such. Prepare yourselves and find me at the village docks when you're ready to set sail. I'll be working on coordinating. Y'all are agreeing to go, aye?
Well, we did agree to help people, so...
I appreciate that. So I'll make some arrangements for you. Meet me at the docks when you're ready. After buying whatever supplies you think you might need. It does get cold up there. I'd recommend some cold weather gear if you don't have none.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Of course. I'll get heading on down that way and get things started. And he gets up and shows you out, and then you see he goes down to the kind of southeastern part of town, or southwestern part of town where the docks are.
Classic NPC. Yeah, I'm gonna need some cold weather gear, I believe, if we're gonna be making a trek even further north. But I suppose this is what I wanted to see, isn't it? And I nudge Phineas a little bit with my elbow. Here on my map that I thankfully snagged yesterday, it says that there's a shop over here, and I'm gonna head in the direction of a general store.
Yeah, absolutely.
The map is upside down.
Deep meditation breaths occur.
Okay. Yeah, you can absolutely purchase some cold weather gear in town. It is pretty easy to do.
How much does cold weather gear cost?
Not too much. I think 5 gold. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I'll purchase some.
Yeah, it's 10 gold. It's 5 pounds. It's like big, thick, heavy cloaks and like scarves and like a mask and like what are they? Balaclavas?
Balaclavas,
Yeah,
face.
the face covering, mittens or gloves, whichever you prefer, fur-lined, big sturdy boots, and then like fleece-lined pants. Like it's a whole thing.
That it's
But-
10 gold?
It's 10 gold and weighs 5 pounds.
10 gold.
10 gold, 10 gold. I think I'll just need to add this item.
You should
And
be
then how
able
much-
to just do it. Sorry.
How much for like rations and stuff?
Rations are, I think, 2 silver each.
We didn't think to ask how long we think this will take, or did I miss that?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's 2 pounds. I keep crossing pounds and weight. Yeah. 5 silver for each day of rations. You don't know how long it's going to be, so.
I'll get 10 days.
Okay. You can add that to your character sheet, subtract the Moonay.
And then, how much would, do you have like tents here?
Yeah, like they have like a tent, if you would like a tent.
How much, do those cost?
A 2-person tent costs 2 gold pieces and weighs 20 pounds.
Alright. I'll get 2 of them. So that's 4 gold.
Correct. About two tents. Ooh, big spender.
We're gonna need something to sleep in. We can't just put our bedroll on top of snow.
Good call.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what kind of weather there's gonna be.
Yeah, none of you have ever been to Eiselcross, so you don't know much about it.
Is the shopkeep the same guy I bought the map from?
No,
Okay,
that was specifically like a cartographer.
gotcha. It's a friendly guy, the shopkeep?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's this kind of like half dwarf, half elf individual. It's like, and what can I get for you? What do you need?
Well, we're making a little trek up to the north.
Oh, well, then you'll be wanting glare shields and snowshoes. You'll be wanting a good sturdy tent and clothing. Well, you've already bought the clothing. But there's always a few more things. Pickaxes, ice picks, crowbars. And you see, like, as he's, like, looking around his shop, he's just kind of piling things into a box.
Well, okay, but we are traveling a bit light, so let's go through the list here.
Oh, well, all right. Well, what do you think you'll be wanting, then?
You know, that's a good question. Let me look at what I've already got, which I don't think includes the pickaxe.
I'm gonna hand one of the tents just for carrying to Bloodwind.
Okay, just write that down for me.
I messaged her.
Okay, great.
Our burly, strong tiefling
Yes.
barbarian. I have a python. I only have one. That seems.
I'm sure you have 10 pythons.
I've got 10. That
Just a
makes sense.
single python.
I was like, what is this gonna do?
Doorstop, obviously.
Tinder.
I was gonna say the lucky
torch.
python.
You know, okay, here's what I should do. All right, I'm going to get some cold weather gear. I'm going to get 10 days rations.
Mhm.
I'm going to get some snowshoes and some... What is a glare shield?
Essentially, he produces what look like sunglasses, except they're like a big dark material, and then they have a little eye slit.
Oh, these look very fashionable. I'll take a pair of those.
Great.
And, you know, I've got a crowbar, but I think a pickaxe could... I don't really know what you do with a pickaxe, but let's take one. Do I need a pickaxe? Does anyone have a pickaxe amongst us?
I do have them available.
Well, we probably need at least one for the throw-it-in pickaxe. Got it.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
else?
he's got this guy, like, his main business is outfitting people who go, like, up to Eiselcross, so he can get you, like, all the stuff.
Let's do the stuff package, I guess. Better safe than sorry. How much rope do we have amongst us, if I may ask the party? I've got my 48 feet.
I got 50.
Oh, that's it. All right. 198 feet of rope. That's... What do you think? Shopkeep, that enough rope?
Well, I suppose it depends on what you're doing. That could be enough, could not be.
No idea. We'll take a chance. All right, let's see. What do we... How much that set me back?
So 10 days of rations.
That's 50 silver.
So that's 5 gold. The cold weather gear was also 10 gold.
10 gold, so that's 15.
Yeah. If you want the snowshoes, they are... Where'd you go? They are 2 gold. And they weigh 4 pounds. And the glare shields are 2 silver. And you wanted rope?
Nah, we're good on the rope.
Okay.
Take a pickaxe, though.
Okay, yeah. The pickaxe is, I think, like, not very much.
I'm so surprised none of us have. I feel like that's one of those things that just comes in an adventurer's kit.
Yeah. Pickaxe. Well, yeah. Pickaxe, 2 gold as well. So it's a miner's pick. You can add a miner's pick to your inventory. And all these should be on D&D Beyond, but I think the snowshoes might be content material, but whatever.
Oh, maybe. I'll add it if I need to. 17 gold and 2 silver, it looks like is what I owe you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do that. It's a little transaction.
Yep. Does anybody else want to purchase anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think I should go with the snowshoes then, huh?
If you want.
How much are the snowshoes?
They were 4 gold.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'll do that.
2 gold.
2 gold, 4 pounds. Sorry.
2 gold, 4 pounds.
The price just went up. He's running low on stock, so...
Yeah.
Supply and demand.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't even need the snowshoes. You've got a tail. Come on, don't you do that little thing like for you?
Just balance on top.
Well, like
Yeah. Come on.
the first character I had with a tail. I don't know how they work. That was just there.
I obviously don't know how they work either, and I'm certainly gonna bullshit about it. Great. Are we missing anything? Does anyone in town sell like armor, the health potions, things like that?
You might find there's definitely a blacksmith in town. You can check with him for armor. And there's an apothecary who might have some sort of healing balm.
All right, that's good to know. Could I interest you in giving us some sort of bulk discount since we're doing all of this together?
Sorry. I do my prices fair and square, so it's market value and high quality equipment.
Yeah, fair enough. Thought I'd ask.
Of course. If you were buying for, say, 10 people and not yourself, and then each of these fine folks buying a cold weather outfit, then maybe we could strike up a deal. But as it is, you're not really buying that much for a bulk discount, if you know what I mean.
You get more business than I anticipated. I respect that. Well, we'll be off to look at a few other wares. Thank you for your time and your gear.
Of course. Thank you for your business. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to serve those who venture forth to the north.
a spoot, I would have insight checked that. Did everyone get what they needed?
I believe so.
Should possibly take a look at an apothecary. I can't say words today. I don't think that some sort of healing would be totally out of the question.
Ooh. Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
I'll consult my map.
Yeah, it's not far from here. It's just a couple chops over.
Walk in and go ahead.
Yeah, no, you get in there. What are you looking for? Are you like just looking for health potions?
Yeah, I'll also mention that we're packing. We're headed to the north. If they've got any health potions, or is there anything that helps stave off the cold if that becomes a problem?
Yeah, there's my ma's chicken soup, but don't really sell that.
Well, that's a shame. I would love to have taken some of that with me.
Oh, hey.
How much for a health potion?
50. I only have 2, but they're 50 gold each.
Well, we didn't think to get an advanced payment from Elro, so hopefully we don't need these, because don't think we'll be buying those today. Unless we pull our funds together. I'm going to take the crickets as a no, so I'll be like, having a good day to you, and I'm going to leave the apothecary. Well, we'll be fine, I'm sure.
What's the worst that can happen?
Overpriced bits of liquid, anyway. Not gonna lie, I'm curious though if there's one last thing to check out. If there's a place that does any armor, I don't really know if I can afford much in the way of an upgrade, but I'd love to take a peek.
Yeah, like you can go look. They don't have much. It's mostly leather and studded leather. But there's like 2 suits of each that could fit you possibly, and they're just market value.
I'd have to look at if studded leather actually gives any advantage over what I've got.
It might be an additional +1 because I think leather armor is 11 plus dexterity and studded is 12 plus dexterity.
12. Looks like. Well, just out of curiosity, how much for the studded leather?
Fairly expensive, I think. Yeah, it's 45 gold.
Well, we'll be fine.
Next paycheck.
Next paycheck, if we live. Really, what I wanted was just chainmail. Let's get out. Oh no, I don't want chainmail because me and Ryan. All right, well, I think we got what we needed.
Okay.
Got some torches. You know what though? Let me see. Well, I want to say I've got something to make fire with. I'm going to make sure that's true before we leave. Tinderbox. I've got 1. Should we go back for another? Does other people have tinderboxes?
I think we're okay.
You are really a Boy Scout in this.
All right, let's go then.
To the docks.
Great. Whew. Cool. Great. There we go.
I guess right before we start venturing out, first time using it, I'll use my infusions now.
Okay.
So I will cast the repeating weapon onto my crossbow.
All right.
One, and then on my other one, Bloodwind is wearing armor. Is she?
She is.
Okay, so
Well, actually, let me double check. She might not be because she's a barbarian.
yeah, that's what I was hung up on.
She is not wearing armor.
Not wearing armor. Okay.
No,
In that case,
it seems that only you. Well, everyone else is wearing armor, but not
Mhm.
Bloodwind.
got it. Okay. Does Bloodwind already have a magic weapon?
None of you do.
No. Okay, that's right. Of course. Then I will do the second infusion, enhanced weapon. But I should let me double check. It has to be a simple or a martial weapon.
Mm-hmm. So, like a dagger, a longsword,
Yeah.
a great axe.
And Bloodwind has a great axe.
She does.
Perfect. So I'll cast it on her great axe.
Cool. Go ahead. You can, when you select your infusion, you can select an item to do it to. So just add a great axe to your inventory,
Okay.
and just note that like
Got
Bloodwind's axe. It's
Bloodwind's.
yeah. Just name it Bloodwind's axe, just so
Got it.
you know what your infusions are doing.
Yes.
And Amber can take that note on herself. Cool. So you spend a couple hours getting all this stuff together, doing these infusions and whatnot. And then is there anything else anybody wants, or are you good to head to the docks?
I'm good.
I hope we didn't forget anything.
All right. So you head on down to the docks and find Elro. And he's there. He says, good timing. I've just secured your passage on the mighty Remoraz. This is a ship owned and operated by the Glassblades themselves, you know. The Glassblades, of course, they'll get you across nice and safely. They'll take you over to Cyrenlia. It's an Uthodurnian outpost on Foreign, which is the largest island of Eiselcross, as it were. Once you... Sorry?
I'm sorry, that was Syrian Leah?
Yeah, Syrian Leah.
Right.
Yeah.
Syrian Leah.
Yeah, I'll put it in
Just
chat for you. Because, words are hard.
Well, that is not how I spelled it.
Yeah. Once you're there, you should find a dwarf by the name of Orvo Mustav. Orvo Mustav. They have been on numerous expeditions through Eiselcross with Ergon, so they're the best bet who might know which way the old man went the last time he was there. And once you get yourselves sorted and find the cure, hopefully, minus whatever you need for yourselves, but I think you're all okay then. You should give the rest to an elf there in town, in the outpost, who goes by the name of the Buyer. The Buyer has the ability to get me stuff right quick. Through a bit of magical teleportation things, so...
Sure. How do you have a chartered ship for us when we need to return?
Well, if the Remoraz is in port, you're welcome to try to come across the boat. Just talk to the captain.
Here's hoping.
Other than that, I can't guarantee. I don't know how long you'll be gone. Hopefully not too long. That family there's counting on you. And anyone else who may have touched this blue dust.
Well, away we go, I suppose.
Right. Good luck. You all travel safe now. Trip should be about 9 days, according to the captain.
Should have bought more
That's
rations.
a bit of a trek.
It's a far ways
They-
to the Northern Isle.
I'm sure they have food on the boat too.
Oh, of course.
It's one of the lesser known Caribbean cruise line vessels.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
the Royal Eiselcross.
The Royal Eiselcross.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, you can all board the Remoras and head on up. Head on up to Eiselcross.
Moving on up.
Yeah, you all head on up, and as you get on the ship departs, heading north across the frozen seas. And that's where we're going to take our little 5-minute break here. So, we will be back in just 5 minutes after a little bio break. We'll do a short rest here. So, thank you all very much for hanging out with us, and we will see you in 5. We'll be right back. Thanks so much. Hello, everyone. We are back. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took a little bio break. Much appreciated there. So thank you. Yeah. So our party has boarded the Remoraz, sailing north to the outpost of Cyrinlia. Cyrinlia. We're going to go with Cyrinlia. It is a 9-day voyage. So it takes 9 days. Over the course of that time, you all like learn a bit about each other, notice a few things about one another. Alkin, you kind of get used to the like finer details of these people as you spend more time with them.
Mm-hmm.
Alexeros, you notice that your war pick, the haft has kind of like it used to be a very like efficient weapon. It was like it wasn't very like stylized. It slowly over like 5 or 6 days now seems to have like a dragon head on the handle.
Interesting.
Like the pommel has kind of taken on that shape.
Okay. Kind of random side question. Have any of us picked up on Alkin's deal? Does he have a deal? Is there something about him that's peculiar?
Yeah, you've actually realized for the first time, like you noticed, like he kept close to you when you were like moving those first couple of days. You've realized he's blind.
Oh. And here I was thinking that he didn't have a tail.
He does. He also does not have a tail.
Hey,
I
that's something in common.
I left it at home.
Yeah.
You don't need it in the snow. I was lying to Phineas.
I mean, you never know what kind of cosplay he might have in his closet back home, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, so he's blind. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Bloodwind's pallor, like despite her being alive, it does not regain like that vibrant kind of lavender shade she was before. It's kind of much more ashen and has like permanently stayed that way. And Phineas, you have, I think specifically Alexeros and probably Alkin too. You have noticed that Phineas has a bearing that totally marks him as like upper crust society. Alkin, you pick out references that he makes occasionally in his speech that like you were suspicious before. Now you're positive this guy like spent time at the Solstice Academy, and has some knowledge of Rexentum in general. Alexeros, you are
just gonna say it both ways every time for safety.
Right? Yeah, Alexeros, you are beyond certain that based on the speech pattern and the attitude, Phineas has some sort of tie to draconian nobility. You don't know what that might be, but the bearing kind of gives it away.
It's the proclivity to wine, I think.
That's up to you to determine.
Wine, right? To drink wine.
Yeah. You all notice that Alexeros's war pick has like had this shift as well. Alkin, you probably notice it first because it's a shift.
How did you see it?
From the first times? Because you aren't always looking at it, so like when the change happens, and it's noticeable to you because you get close enough and you can just kind of tell.
I would imagine I haven't had many reasons to take it out on this journey.
Yeah, probably not. So it's probably just been like in the sheath behind your back or at your hip, however you wear it.
Which actually, that's funny. I probably wouldn't have seen it, but the hilt would have been like right here, wouldn't it? Right at eye level.
If you wear it behind your shoulder, yeah.
Yeah, let's say that.
Okay. Cool. So you all notice these things about each other as you go on. And Phineas, you definitely pick up that Alkin has knowledge of Rexentrum as well, like the way he speaks, but it's lower dialect. Like, it's not the circles you traveled in. It's much more. It's not like quite working class, but it's kind of like maybe higher end working class. Like, if there were a middle class, maybe on the low side of it.
Okay.
But you all also get the sense that Alkin definitely has military training. Not officer training, but foot soldier kind of stuff.
Hey, it's more training than I had.
Yeah. You all. So these are things you all pick up.
Just to be clear, this is stuff we picked up just looking at each other, but not necessarily talked about with each other.
Well, this is all stuff that you would observe through interactions with each other.
Okay.
Like you talk to someone long enough, you'll be like, oh, you have this habit of saying things this way, and that reminds me of the janitor from high school or whatever.
Because I'm wondering, like, if I pick up that Alkin is of a military background, would I know why he left the military? Has he gone AWOL?
You don't know. Like, if you want to have that discussion, like, if you want to roleplay that, we can. Like, you know, it's 9 days of material. I'm just telling you, like, over the course of these 9 days, these are things that you pick up through your interactions with one another as a group on a small ship. You all also get that Bloodwyn is decidedly kind of like the outsider of this group in a weird way. She does not seem to have the connections across that you all may or may not have. She is only from Uthadern. She's never been anywhere except Uthadern and now Palebank and here. But it seems like her commitment to following the rules and the sense of fair play is absolute. Like, one of the ship's crew tries to, like, cheat at a game of cards, and she, like, stops them and, like, calls them on it, and the table kind of, like, chastigates that individual.
Mhm.
But yeah, the crew member Ivesga gets a few lashes for cheating. Just like 2, but still gets a little bit of punishment.
I'm not surprised when I saw this character. Like, that one's a cheater. Don't get caught.
Mm-hmm.
Got that look about him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He's got. Never mind.
Ivesga. Yeah. It's a tall, willowy, elfin gentleman. But
That's your problem. Can't trust elves. Plain and simple.
whoa, hey. But unless you all want to have any other further interactions on the ship, or accomplish anything specific while you are on these 9 days, we can move forward.
And I will ask Alkin if there's a reason why he's not currently in an army or guard or anything. Like, I'll say, like, hey, I've noticed you have military training, but you're out here all alone. So did you get kicked out? The whole vision thing?
I was asked to help the Cerberus assembly with an experiment in exchange for something very personal. Experiments weren't very fun.
Sure.
Yes.
I'm sorry, meaning experiments. What?
I don't necessarily know. It's not something I am very knowledgeable of, but there was an explosion, and I no longer was able to see.
Which is weird because you've been managing very well so far. Fooled me, especially fooled Ross.
Thank
Easy
you.
to do, though.
I have a lot of practice and some skills I picked up.
Well, glad you're with us. And then I'll lean in and whisper, "Hail Cerberus." No, don't say that. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, what does that mean?
Wow. Okay.
Hail Hydra.
Power
What's
move.
going on? Right?
You don't do that?
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
He was like, oh, finally, something in common.
Yeah. Phineas, when he tells you that, I'd like you to go ahead, just roll. Whoa, hey.
Drop something.
No, I think like a bug or a mosquito just like attacked my leg because it just scared me. I'd like you to roll a. Just roll me a straight luck check. Just straight d20. And on a 15 or higher, you may have heard something.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, you don't know anything about Cerberus assembly experiments. You definitely weren't high enough to know anything like that. Because you weren't...
Mm-hmm.
You were still, like, in the academy. You weren't a... like, your membership is kind of banking on this job, this gig here.
It really is. You're right. Yeah. That's why I can't mess up.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So, barring anything else, you all arrive at Eiselcross. The temperature has dropped steadily since you left Palebank Village, and yet, even as you step off of the ramp of this ship, it just seems to get colder with every step you take. And yeah, as you step onto Foran for the first time, which is the large island of Eiselcross, it is beyond freezing, beyond any cold any of you have ever experienced before. You see through windy snow, like there are big fur-lined tents and yurts arranged in a very large camp. And campfires are like being whipped heavily by the wind. And you see dwarves and elves kind of huddled in groups close to these flames. And then you hear a voice shout, "Don't worry, it'll cool down here eventually." And you turn to see this joking kind of big smile on this female dwarf with a shaggy mane of like hair just like all over the place. She kind of bows to you. "Morgo Delwer, at your service, welcome to Eiselcross. Just in time for swimsuit weather."
We are going to get along, I can tell.
Oh, I can hope so.
What did you say your name was again?
Morgo Delwer.
Morgo, pleasure to meet you. The name's Ross, and
Ross, it's an absolute pleasure.
Well, thank you so much. We were just hoping that you could point us in the direction of the nearest beach.
Oh, pick any spot you like. You might have to scrape off a bit of ice, but it's there underneath.
That's excellent. I brought in a pickaxe just for this.
Yes, I'd be happy to see you in your bathing suit.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Don't mean to interrupt this foreplay, but I need a place to warm up.
Of course. We can get warm by the fire. No worries at all. Right this way. I've been living here for years. So let me see. What can I notice here about here? And she begins. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you first. This is going to be better.
No, she just begins giving you like a rundown on what is in the town here. You know, it's not like a full. It's not like a city. It's a very small population. Like
Small village, I guess.
Yeah, she says there's less than 200 people who like live here.
Their loss.
But it's an outpost of Uthadern. But there's no like organization that lives here or whatever. She says that there's a professor, Gulrim Shadebrow, who like runs it, but there's just a few rules, and she lets you know. Everybody has everyone's back against the harsh environment is kind of the big deal. You look out for each other, and there's a courtesy that you know, everybody's kind of interdependent. Share food when the hunts are good, so that others return the favor if the luck runs out. They're not big on bullies, and Morgo lets that she's not one to allow such sorts of things, and I make sure that things keep a good order to him, and nobody likes to get to my bad side because I'm known to hold a grudge. Some folks even call me the bear, and believe me, you wouldn't like it when the bear comes out to play. God, I don't know what the hell.
Well, maybe I might.
There must be like a mayfly or something, because it was like, I don't know what that was.
Junebug.
Could have been.
Did you say, is her name? Sorry, go ahead.
No, ask the question.
Is her? I'm trying to make sure her name is not the one we're looking for.
It's not.
No.
It's not. We're looking for Orville. So I'm
Oro Mustang?
Orvo Mustav.
Mustav.
I mean, she's just kind of giving you the rundown.
Right. When she's finished, I'll say, well, thank you. You know, we were directed to meet someone in town to welcome us.
Oh,
also.
and who would that lucky person be?
Well, do you happen to know an Orvo Mustav?
Oh, aye, that I do. Yeah, right over this way. And she begins bringing you to their yurt. So what brings you up here anyway?
Honestly, just expedition. We're all from far in the south, not been around the snow much, and here there's some lovely hiking up here. In addition to the beaches.
Oh, well, there's plenty to hike, that's for sure. And she gestures over to a group of dwarves and elves that are kind of chatting around a campfire. Those ones there, they're planning an expedition to find Eor's lost treasures. You know, that's what this whole place is about. Pretty much, if you ain't exploring, you ain't making gold. And as we all know, gold makes the world turn, eh?
This is too true.
Oh, by the way, and she stops in front of a large kind of fur-lined yurt. You can stay here for however long you'll be in town, of course. Belong to this fool of a rich elf named Bertrand, who decided to come here looking for adventure. Found the inside of a saber-toothed tiger instead, he did. Anyway, should be some food and the like in there for you. It's yours now. You won't be needing it, he is the food.
Why does Bertrand sound familiar?
Huh?
Why does Bertrand sound familiar?
Out of game, Travis Williams, he's played a character named Bertrand.
Oh, okay.
But Bertrand is apparently an elf who's now spending his death inside a saber-toothed tiger.
And we have a little yurt out of it.
Yeah, you got a little
There's
yurt.
silver lining to everything.
Yeah, what's in this yurt? If once we get a chance to search.
Oh, well, yes, if you want to, you can certainly go there. But do you want to go to Orvo?
Yeah, I reckon we best.
Well, either way,
Fantastic.
here's your yurt. Hard to lose track. There's not many. You just got to remember which one's yours. And if you're in the wrong one, you'll know right soon enough. Anyway, and if you get lost, just ask anyone for Bertrand's yurt. They all know where it is. But yeah. So this tent's right over here, and she kind of points over to one, and I've got a few things to attend. Yeah, have a good time here. Enjoy your stay in lovely Eiselcross. And she kind of bounds away over various snowbanks.
Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, I'm sure. So you've been pointed out to a small tent that's got a campfire burning in front of it. But the flaps of the tent are wide open. And inside, you can see as you approach, there's a young-looking dwarf who's got massive, claw scars across his face. And he's got a short sword that is just laid across his lap as he's warming his outstretched hands by this fire that he's got in the tent there.
Does he speak first?
No. I mean, you approach his tent, and he's just there.
Wait, he's in the tent that we were given?
No. We were
No.
taken to his location.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say, I'm looking for his fucking name. Everybody's got a name here, and we have to remember him.
Oh, yeah.
Orvo.
It's Orvo.
Orvo.
Yes, not Bertrand. Just Orvo, I presume.
Ah, yes. What can I do for you? Orvo Mustav. Who be you?
You can call me Ross. And,
Ross.
This here is Alkin and Finn. We've
Phineas.
traveled.
Phineas. Aye.
Bit of a mouthful. We've traveled up here on Elrow's. I cannot say his name for whatever reason. That guy's.
Elro?
Quest in Elro. We were told to come speak with you upon landing in this
Oh.
lovely village.
Oh, well, of course, any friend of Elro's is, of course, welcome here. Do come in. Tell me, please join me here by the fire. So, what news of old Elro? Is he still having a good time? Enjoying his semi-retirement running that Pale Bank village of his?
Not quite, I'm afraid.
Oh.
And I'll give him the
Troubles?
deets on. Oh yeah, I'll give him the deets on the troubles of the sickness going around and why. He
What do you tell him, specifically?
Cause a panic.
Yeah. What's up?
Don't cause a panic.
I know. I'm always like, I was going to tell you the truth, but this sounds
The
crazy.
end is coming.
You're all going to die.
The
No,
end is nigh.
There's a. I'll try to simplify it without, outright omitting anything. But there's a bit of a sickness going around, and he thinks he's tracked the cure to some Aeorian ruins up in this region. And where-
What sickness would it be that's going around?
Well, we can't say for certain, but have you ever heard anything called the Frigid Woe?
Oh, of course. Yeah. It's a dastardly thing. Turn you into ice it will. has it made its way to Palebank?
Afraid so. In very, just it's not an outbreak yet.
Oh, well, that's good. Do you know how it began? Occasionally, some explorer up here comes across it. We don't know quite why, but we all know the signs of it, and we know the cure.
Would this be Ergon Winf?
Argon's an old friend of mine. How's he doing in there?
Well,
He
Well,
froze.
yeah.
afraid he was the first to go.
Oh,
Seems he got a little bit
no,
of some-
not Ergon. Oh, my old friend.
Seems he found himself some blue vials from one of the expeditions of an Aeorian ruin, and
Aye,
one of them may have...
yes. We found him together. We did actually.
Oh, and you've been fine.
Of course, I'm still here. Not a problem.
You look better than Ergon, I'll say that.
You didn't touch the items at all, or?
Well, sure enough, we did. These blue crystal vials you found. Aye, we found them in a ruin that was submerged in water. Or partially, anyway. The whole thing wasn't, but like half of it was.
Well, it seems that one of those vials might have been cracked and leaked out, and whatever was inside we think is at least one of the causes of the Frigid Woe. We've traced everyone in town that has contracted the disease, and that's been the common thread.
Sorry. Well, if that's the common denominator, I'm so sorry to hear about Ergon and anyone else who's caught ill, of course. But I'm afraid I don't know what... Well, you'll surely be wanting to check out those ruins, of course. It's up on the thin sheets. The ice can be quite thin in the area, so you best be careful. I think that the ruins will preserved because of some sort of the structure's been reinforced with magic. I'm not really a mage myself, but I can't imagine it would have lasted in this condition any other way. But a lot of Aor's buildings that we found over the time that survived were home to all sorts of strange things and wild projects. A bunch of crazy magic users that they were.
Interesting.
Hey.
And I mean, we think what we're looking for is similar. It's a vial of a milky liquids.
Yes. I don't know if it's there, but certainly able to be searched out. I think, what was the name of the place? It was carved above it, and I'm trying to remember. Salzwald, I think it was. Salzwald. Yeah, it's about 200 miles northwest of here, Serenia. A lot of ice mephits around the area.
I'm sorry, what?
Ice mephits, they're like little winged ice creatures, elemental in nature. They're all over the place, but we followed one of them, and that's how we found the ruin, actually.
What do you just try to avoid these creatures?
Well, they can be mischievous, they can be dangerous if you, fight with them, but a lot of times they just scamper off on their own. They're more a bit of a prankster sort of creature. But still problematic. We were following one, I can't remember why. Maybe it had swiped something from our camp bag? I can't remember right now. But it was some sort of a laboratory. We looked in 3 of the chambers and then got chased away by some animated suits of armor. Not a person in them, they just started walking on their own. Strangest damn thing I've ever seen.
It is interesting. Well, how many chambers do you think there were? Is there just one more you didn't search, or is it a much larger complex?
Oh, I couldn't say. We only got the first kind of three in the area, and then scampered. We weren't gonna try to fight things like that. No way. But we found the vials pretty quickly, and a few other things. I sold my treasure, my cut of it, to the buyer, but Ergon decided he'd hang on to it and try unloading it back in Palebank. Can't believe that's the last I'll see of the old codger.
Yeah, it's a shame. Well, we're obviously hoping to prevent any further death.
That's right neighborly of you.
Well, it seems as good a place as any to start a search for a cure, considering it's where you found the disease in the first place.
It's the best lead I've got to tell you, I'm sorry.
I don't suppose you know anyone that could help guide us back to this location?
Well, let me think here. I mean, you could try to convince anyone. Most people around here are willing to help you. But, I mean, they are people looking for payment in gold as well. And there's a bit of a urgency at the moment. You see, Professor Gulrim, he's our, Shalebrow, I suppose. He's our leader, for lack of a better word, around town. And he went to look for the source of this strange magic way up north in Mutalos months ago. Hasn't returned yet. And most folks are prepping to prepare a search and rescue mission to go find him and bring him back. So you could try to pull a couple people off of that, but I'm not sure if you'll have too much of luck. I'm going out with him myself, and I owe Shalebrow a lot, so I'm afraid I can't say no to it.
Understood. Well, I'm sure that with a little guidance from you, considering we've been out there.
Aye, I'll tell you all I know. You go about north for a while, and then you'll kind of curve off to the east there. Once you get around the sides of the mountains there.
Okay. I'm writing notes.
Yeah. So what I would do is there's all these mountains up directly north of us. You want to skirt around them, so you'll head west and kind of curve along the eastern side. If you find a big river of lava, you done gone too far. That's the River Inferno, bisects the island entirely. And if you cross, you might run into people from Balin Post, and you don't want to do that. I mean, I'm sure they're fine and nice enough, but it's run by the Cerberus Assembly, so just well enough to stay away from that mess. Those mages are always out looking Eiselcross searching for Aeolian ruins, and of course so are we, so it can get a bit tense out there sometimes.
Does that name mean anything to me, Cerberus Assembly?
Yeah.
This is the first time I've heard it said out loud.
No, like everyone generally knows that the Cerberus Assembly is a group of powerful mages that are influential but are not supposed to have like political sway in the Dwendalian Empire. They supposedly work for the Emperor, or King Bertrand Dwendal. But you know that they are, given your history, you know that they are powerful and they have a lot of reach and influence.
Copy.
Yeah, so that's about what you know.
Okay. I'm taking notes on any other directions he gives us, but perhaps I could offer to flip my town map over and draw some notes and sketch out a few of these landmarks he's talked about.
Yeah, so he tells you, Cyrenlia is kind of on the western tip of Foreign. And there's like a bunch of mountains kind of to the north and the northeast or the northwest there. So to get really any farther, you'll have to go around the mountain range and kind of come back to the east around it. Let's go to the map. I will show you the map.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So here is the map. Cyrenlia is down here. And where he is telling you to go is kind of like just around these mountains and kind of somewhere over in this area, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's kind of roughly the direction that he gives you.
Okay. This makes sense. Skirting around the mountains, cutting back into
Yeah.
the east.
Back over the River Inferno.
And then the section we're headed to is called the Thin Sheets.
Aye, the ice can be quite thin, so you might want to be careful where you're looking. Otherwise, you might end up trapped underneath in water, or if you're lucky, in an ice cave.
Oh, that sounds
If we're lucky, an ice
lovely.
cave.
Oh, hey, it's not ideal either way, but gives you more of a chance anyway.
Once we've reached the Thin Sheets, and how do we know we're getting close to the ruins? Are they on the ice? Is that what we were told?
Well, it's partially submerged in the water.
Yeah.
So we found it quite by accident. We followed, like I said, an ice method and just kind of followed his trail, and there was this half-sunken bunker of a building.
Well, maybe we'll get lucky and find one of these ice ferrets.
Method. Aye. Winged creatures. Look like small little impish things made out of ice. All sorts of elemental creatures come, all sorts of strange monsters. Well, not necessarily monsters, it sounds a bit negative, I suppose. But all sorts of creatures roam up here in Eiselcross.
Anything that, any ones in particular, other than the ice methods we should be aware of? Saber-toothed cats, apparently.
Why, saber-toothed cats can be a bit of a problem from time to time. Let's see. You also want to be mindful of any kind of yeti. Yetis can be a bit troublesome, of course.
That doesn't even sound fun.
Why, they're quite ferocious. Although some of them seem to be a bit smarter than the others. Not sure why exactly. But some of them are just quite aggressive and quite mean, actually.
Good to know. Steer clear of the Yeti, I'm hearing.
Aye. There's all sorts of creatures that could be problematic in the area. There's... I mean, you could run into anything from a few wild folk who roam up here to griffins or fire snow worms, fire ice worms, remoras, and all sorts of strange creatures I wouldn't even know how to describe. But I guess you might want to watch out for white dragons, of course. Although If you see one of them, you might as well run.
Dragons, you say?
Very rare, but, it is a snowy area, and the white ones seem to like it up here. I've seen one fly from time to time, but I've never had an encounter with one myself.
Still sounds concerning.
Why?
I'm starting to wonder what we've got ourselves into.
Well, I should say, I've never run into a dragon, personally. I just seen one and then hid behind a rock, and it flew by and went off on its merry way. Or whatever kind of way it was in the moment of, I suppose. But it didn't give me no harm. Because I opened it, well, it must not have seen me, otherwise I'd have made a right tasty snack, I'm sure.
Oh, I imagine. Well, this is all good to know. Any other
Yes,
tips you may have for fending off creatures? I'd greatly appreciate it. But I
either
guess we'll keep a...
either run or I guess fight them if you want. The wild folk are quite reasonable from time, as long as you don't get in the way of anything sacred of theirs. So they might be willing to offer you supplies and trade or something if you have such things. But it's hard to know what they might have.
Speaking of, anything that we should take with us before we go up there? I mean, we've got these supplies, and I'll list, warm weather gear, we've got some snowshoes.
The cold weather gear is a must, yeah. I'm surprised if you're not wearing it. I think you should be right now. It's going to be quite nippy. Despite whatever you may have heard from some of our more colourful residents, it's not very warm up here, so...
Oh, well, that's a
It
shame.
doesn't feel warm.
Yeah,
Indeed not.
The brochure was misleading. Well, I will say, if we haven't put it on already, I guess once we leave the tent with the campfire nearby, we should put on our cold weather gear.
Yes. You're welcome to stay and hang out. I'd love to hear more about you.
Well, we're not really a chatty bunch, I'm afraid. Not a whole lot to say, except we...
Well, you must. Well, if Elro sent you up, you certainly must be capable.
We've done a couple jobs for him, but nothing. I think this will be the most interesting one so far.
Oh, if you're up here, you're pretty much guaranteed to have an interesting time, if nothing else.
From what you've been saying, it sounds it for sure.
Aye. Well, let's see. If you have luck on your side, a good steady pace, you can cover upwards of 18 or 20 miles in a day. It depends on how slow you are. Normally, if in decent enough weather, you can get upwards of 25 or 30. But if you get caught in bad weather or slowed down for any sort of reason, have any of you all contracted the Frigid Woe? Because, that can slow you down quite a bit.
Thankfully, no.
I mean, I think we would
that's
have known by now, I hope.
Well, it can take some time
Do
to
we
know.
feel anything, Jared?
No, none of you have shown any signs of it.
Okay.
I do think we might have severely underestimated how long this journey will take. From your math, it sounds like, if we're lucky, it could take us a good 30 days total there and back again. Did I understand that correctly?
No, it's only 200 miles.
200 miles. 18 miles.
Only.
Okay, I thought it was longer.
And if you're covering about 30 miles a day, which is doable, you could even push to 35 if you really wanted to, huff it. But I don't know if I'd recommend it. I'd probably shoot more in the 25 to 30 range myself. Because if you go too fast, you might not notice dangers around.
Oh, fair enough. Well, nevertheless, we might need to grab a few more rations, to make sure we're fed on the way back, as I think I've only got 10 days worth on me as it is.
Well, I think there might be some inside of... we lost an elf earlier, Bertrand.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, we should check his yurt. We've been graciously housed him.
Oh, you have? Oh, good. Well, there should be something for you there. Whatever's in there, you're welcome to take.
Oh, excellent.
Well, time of day have we arrived?
It's like afternoon.
Probably not a good idea to start out in the afternoon, is it?
Probably not. You know, it's already getting dark.
Yeah. I say we get to the yard, check for any additional gear, see if there's anything we need, have a sleep, leave early in the morning.
Aye, very well. Well,
I would like to try to find some food around town again and do like one last warmer meal before we hit the.
It's a good idea.
there's no restaurant or inn or anything like that here.
No, like a grocery store.
There isn't one.
Anyone
Or
cooking meat
anywhere
that
to
we
buy
could...
food.
It seems like everybody here just gets rations from whatever ships come off, and everybody lives off rations, or whatever they hunt. You know,
What a miserable.
people
Oh, God.
people are happy to share their freshly hunted foods. Like everybody's okay with that. Like that's the environment, but there's no grocery store.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if I can go around and speak to people and try to collect some fresher ingredients to cook something with.
Yeah, just make a persuasion check. And again, most people are getting ready to leave for this other thing. 10's enough. They're nice people.
Okay.
Most people are getting ready to leave, so a lot of the fresh stuff has already been used up. But you find someone who is able to give you a couple pounds of some creature.
All right. Barbecue it is.
Yeah, you're not exactly sure what it is, but
Do they tell? Can I ask?
they don't really know. It was some strange creature that they and 12 of their friends slaughtered, and no one's died from the meat yet.
Good enough for me, I guess.
I'll go check out the rations.
We'll just cook it a little extra good. So if medium rare, we'll do a medium well.
How do you like your Yeti?
Right.
So you make your way back to Bertrand's yurt, and all the sound of the wind and the biting cold die down as you enter the structure. There's a cold fire pit in the center, and the floor is covered with hide, so it's insulated a bit. And there's an open crate that seems to contain a bunch of packed rations and other things next to the door.
Awesome. How many rations are we talking about here?
Well, you start digging through this crate. There are 50 days worth of rations.
50. Nice.
Yep. There is a 50-foot silk rope.
Fancy rope.
Mm-hmm. There is a blanket. A grappling hook.
Yeah.
A miner's pick.
Dang it.
And a book with a gilded title that's Adventure Sexy, Impress Potential Lovers with Great Deeds by Scanlan Shorthalt.
Oh, I don't need that.
I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that from Ross and be like, you can't read this anyway. Add that to my inventory.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
I don't even have a good comeback for that.
You will later on. You'll be taking a shower and you'll be like, that's what I should have said. But it'll be too late by then.
Oh, yeah. All right.
That's
Win
where it
this
comes.
round.
Like,
Yep. Adventure Sexy. Impress potential lovers with great deeds by Scanlan Shorthalt.
That's hilarious.
is it a thick book? Thin? Like,
Oh,
how many pages are we
it's like this thick, and it's like bound in like purple leather, and like it's got gold gilt on it.
Does it
Oh.
have pictures?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
pictures inside?
it does have very detailed photos.
Maybe I can read it.
There's a lot of close-ups of various things involving a certain flamboyant gnome.
The Kama Sutra.
Very much like, yes. There's also a bunch of like how-tos in the book, like how to inspire others with your actions and adventures. Which at a quick skim through, it's like, here's how to make an okay story great.
I don't need that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I'll happily pack some of this stuff away, unless we want to split up the rations.
Yeah, are we splitting? Yeah, I was going to ask, are we splitting up the rations?
I mean, that's 25 for each, right? No, I can't math.
No,
Start
he said
over.
it was 50. So
50
There's
total.
50 in total, not 100.
Thank you. That's at least
right,
12.
so we're looking at 12. Yeah.
I have 20 days.
That's good.
I've got 10, so I mean, like, I need some more, obviously.
No,
Or
I'm
we can
saying
just-
like I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
So we said it was about that amount of time, right?
I think it's about 8 days out and 8 days back if everything goes well and we don't camp out there for a long time.
All right, so I have a couple extra days then.
I mean, I could just hold on to them.
I mean, yeah, either you or Bloodwind can carry it and eat it. We'll...
I don't know
Pack
why,
meals.
but something tells me that the character that Amber plays should hold the majority of our gear.
Yeah, no, I agree. Something about, I don't know, the strength of the character, perhaps.
It's definitely no magical bag this time.
I think I'm stronger than Bloodwind, actually.
Well, she's died, so like, cool your
Yeah.
jets. I'm just kidding. I mean, I don't care. I can hold on to it since I was rummaging through it. But like, if someone wants some rations immediately, we can pass them out for those who didn't buy any in town wisely. Anyone want a miner's pick? Got an extra one.
I'm good. I mean, I can hold on to it if we want it.
Sure. You never
Yeah.
know. I'll take the rope and the grappling hook. The blanket. Yeah, I'll just hold on to it until somebody needs rations. Just let me know.
I'm going to ask one of you to be the person who is counting the days. So, essentially, 10 days have passed between like the start of your adventures. So we'll start the counter and including this day, it's 10 days because it was 9 days of crossing and then the day before. And then someone can track days as we continue on.
Okay, we can do that. We haven't, with the exception of tonight, we haven't used any rations. I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah, the
Would
ship
we have
was
been-
fine. Yeah, the ship had.
Okay. So
It wasn't- it wasn't-
we ate.
It wasn't like, you know, Iceland cruise lines or anything like that. It was, you know, salt cod and hardtack
Yuck.
and, you know, staple like preserved traveling ship food.
I thought it was the Royal Eiselcross.
You were wrong.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's a buffet, and the buffet is
You boarded
one
the wrong
ration.
boat.
I mean, it's a buffet of hardtack and salt cod every day.
Love it.
Blech.
Especially the hardtack. Okay, I can keep track if no one else wants to.
All yours.
I'm pretty sure when Amber gets back, we'll just make her do it.
Wow.
She's the most responsible of the party. That's
We
why.
can say that her character volunteered.
Well, actually,
You
I
would
think
never know.
in character, Bloodwood might actually take that on. So
Well, she does have
Actually, that's
the
true.
little
She does have the
book.
notebook. You're right.
I almost said for science, but I'm definitely getting our. Anyway,
Yeah. So because none of you are sick, like you would know by now if you were.
that's what I thought.
And you all have a speed of 30. You can cover 24 miles in a day at like a normal pace, and you can do a fast pace at like and get like another 6 miles out. So you can do 30 miles if you go a fast pace, but there's a cost to that.
Let's take a rest. Let's get up, start early. We'll do just a regular pace in the morning to get our bearings and see what we're up against out in the wild. How's that? With the exception of maybe Alkin. I don't know if anyone's familiar with this terrain.
I mean, I've
Yeah, I guess that
never been
makes
to
sense.
Eiselcross, so just
True. You've just been in colder weather slightly longer than we have.
yeah.
All right. Let's get some sleep. I'm assuming there's enough room in the yurt for the four of us?
Oh yeah. It's a big old yurt.
I give you guys your mystery meat kebabs.
I'm okay, thank you. I had lunch on the boat.
Does it smell okay?
I mean,
It doesn't
yeah.
smell rotten?
No, it doesn't smell rotten. You know,
Did we
it's
roll low on this?
it's hard for meat to go bad here because it's so cold. They just leave it outside.
That's
Right.
a good point.
Like
I didn't
like
think
the
about that.
like the whole place is a freaking freezer. So, like you're good.
True.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
I guess if everyone else is doing it.
Yeah. It tastes fine. Like it's meat. It's got it's got like a gaminess to it, but it's not like offensive.
It's probably that elf that went missing. Anyway, good night, everyone.
Oh.
Yikes.
Is it cannibalism if you aren't an elf?
If you
Technically,
don't
they are
know,
different species.
That's interesting. D&D just
By
got weird.
definition, now they are all different species.
Indeed. Who's to say?
Yeah.
That's why lizard folk are so ravenous for their dead party members.
Lizard folk are known to do all kinds of things.
Oh.
So you can all settle in for the night, and you get a long rest, and you can begin your trek the following morning.
We're ready, probably.
Right. So this is your beginning of your day 11, for those of you keeping track. Great. Cool. Fantastic. Wonderful. Great.
what is going on?
Sorry, I
We're
was
just all standing outside, like.
no. You head on out into the wilds. So yeah, it is a bright day. Snow is falling. Seems like it's always falling here. It is brilliant. It is blindingly bright, and it's also like bizarre in a weird way. Like none of you have ever seen an environment like this before. But as you set out, I would like someone to roll me a d20, please.
Oh boy.
Who's doing it?
You know what? I'll do the first. How's that? Otherwise, my
Okay.
pack weapon might get mad at me.
You hear the voice as you take the first step and begin to lead your comrades out, you hear the voice, "Yes. Good. Be the leader. That's what you were born to do."
Eiselcross just does like a mild shiver, like looks over his shoulder for a hot second and is like, "Nope, I'm going this way."
Good choice. You just get, once you're like out and leading and like, you just get a sense of approval. Like, this is your destiny. You can forge your name here.
That's enough.
You don't get to mute.
I'm trying to focus. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just
But
shush him.
yeah,
Yeah, what happens if I... No, I don't shush the voice. I feel like it. Too early in the relationship.
sure. Yeah. Yeah, you were warned by Orvo about these frozen sheets. You'll run into that area about 40 miles outside of Cyrenlia.
In theory, of day 2 of our journey.
Yeah, like the latter portion of day 2. But yeah. No, if you have a question, ask the question.
I just like saying sometimes, I guess.
Are you sure? I'm happy to provide.
Yeah.
Okay, rocks fall, everyone dies.
Oh no! I
You
should have
asked
laughed.
the question.
No, I mean, is that? I mean, I rolled. Obviously, we're just having a normal day. Was that the completion of day 11, or we're still on day 11?
Well, so you've left town,
Okay.
and you're all wearing cold weather gear, so you're not suffering any ill effects from the cold, which is good. And you proceed to head on out. And the day in this area, if anyone wants to make a perception check, you are welcome to do so. Or you can just use your passives.
My habit tells me I should do it,
Perception.
but I'm
Yeah.
so bad at it. I'm gonna try.
Great.
Oh, I saw Phineas's and I was like, oh, of course.
Oh, not me.
Yeah, Alkin, it's weird to you. Like, you're used to there being stuff around, and there's not stuff around. It's like just the ground and your comrades. That's really all you can sense. And I don't think you really can see the snow that is falling. You just kind of get the sensation of it when you walk through it, because it's not really big enough to register on your senses necessarily.
Right.
Because it's not so much that it's making an impact at this point in time.
Yeah, I'll just be keeping a very strong ear out for anything.
Totally. Alex Ross, you just notice it's beautiful and awe-inspiring and terrifying at the same time. It's like a blank canvas, and it's just all like white with like some gray and blue mixed in, but it's a blanket sheet of white. But the day goes quickly, and there's no issues, and you can set camp.
Let's do it. How does that work?
Uh,
Where's our magic tent?
Yeah, you take the time, you set up the tents. You can have some rations, bundling down, keeping warm under various blankets. Yes.
I think it's important that there are 2 tents, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Who's in whose tent?
You tell me.
I call Bloodwind.
Okay.
That's fine, because I was going to call Alkin, so yeah, he's quiet. So it's a peaceful night.
What are you trying to say about Bloodwind?
Yeah, she's going to wake up very cranky.
Are you Bloodwind?
She's been quiet the past like 9
You
days.
respect. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been eerily quiet.
That's a little too quiet.
A little too quiet.
For any of Amber's characters,
She's
that would
going through the emotions.
If you want to
Brink
talk
was
about it,
quiet
like
for 9 days, oof, that'd be suspicious.
Hmm.
you know what? I'm just saying we can stay up all night in the tent, talk about it. It's fine. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, good night, everyone.
Yeah.
Should
Yeah.
talk about watches, probably.
If you want.
I don't know much about this area at all.
Oh yeah,
But,
no, we should probably maybe set up watches.
I don't know if there's anyone who got a particular preference on time. Speak first if you'd like to call something.
I'll go last.
Anyone here have trouble seeing in the dark? Maybe we should
Let
think
them
about
go
that.
first.
Yeah. Falcon, how many people do you need to watch to get through a long rest?
So traditionally we do 4.
Yeah, Falcon,
Yeah.
maybe you should go first. No offense.
Sure.
Then Bloodwind, then me, then Phineas.
Cool. Yeah. Alkin, go ahead and roll a d20 for me, and then roll a perception check at disadvantage.
Even if I'm doing it on hearing.
Okay, sure. So you can do a straight roll on hearing.
D20. I must click 2. 7
Okay.
and 17.
Wonderful. Yeah, the night comes very quickly here, like at this time of year, so you can tell that it because the temperature drops, so like you don't see the sunset, but you feel it.
Mhm.
And you just hear open wind like racing across this frozen tundra and down. You don't hear any sort of creature. It gets pretty cold, like you get the sense that probably most creatures don't hang out at night here
Mhm.
because it's so much colder. Like you barely make it to the end of your watch, and like you have to go in the tent occasionally just because it's so cold.
All right. Who am I waking up next? Bloodwind.
Bowen.
Yeah. Her watch goes by unaffectively. All of your watches do. You just note that anytime you are out of the tent, even if you're in your full cold weather gear, it is freezing cold. Like, you can't imagine anything would want to be out in this weather.
That's good to know. Did we try to make a fire? Or we just bundled up in our clothing?
You tell me. All of you would have noticed that, like, a fire would have been visible because, like, it's a big flat area.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we don't need to
assume.
we don't need to cook or anything. So
Yeah, I'm assuming no fire. Okay.
It's up to you.
I'm happy I bought those tents.
Yeah, the tents
good
are
call.
are
Good call.
clutch.
That would have sucked. Great. No events, meaning we start the next bit of journey.
Yep. So you can
Day
start.
12.
Yep. Someone can go ahead and roll me a d20, please.
Want to go ahead, Hannah?
8.
Cool. Yeah. You travel the day. You can mark off another set of rations as you travel on 12s. You can either mark a set of rations at the end of the day or the beginning of the day. I'll leave it up to you. But just track that for me.
I will just do it when you mention it.
Well, Phineas might die of starvation because he hasn't been eating.
Just trying to keep a
Anyone's-
figure here.
Anyone seen Phineas lately?
He just
We're two
fell
in,
down
right?
in the snow with no body fat and just dead.
0% body fat.
Yep. I mean, he was a dead man. He was a dead dragon walking anyway. So, you all, walk without too much issue. The weather there's constant snow, but it is not aggressive or stormy. It's just kind of cold, and the moisture becomes snow. And you don't have any issues. Towards the end of your day, I would like... What is your marching order? Like, who's in the lead here? Great. So,
I was going to say that
Alexandros, go
Ross
ahead.
would be in front because he has a map
Sure.
that he made.
Yeah, got them. It's just got like
Yeah.
stick figure mountains.
Yeah. Alexandros, whatever.
Just say it both times. Yeah, both ways.
Alexandros,
Cover your bases.
you're in the lead. You have this. Anytime that you're in the lead and like making decisions, you feel this like warm wash of approval, regardless of what it is, but especially when you're taking charge and being a commanding presence and leading, making the decisions. I would like you to just roll a straight D20 for me.
Okay.
Great. Cool. Yeah. So, you notice, towards the end of the day that, you take a step and you hear a slight crack, like, and then you back off because you're like, oh, screw.
Thin
And
sheets.
yeah, you've come to the thin sheets. So it's best to be a little bit more aware of your surroundings from this point on.
Fuck. I'm guessing I can assume, at least from what they told us, it's like this whole area, right? There's like no real going around it or something. It's just like...
Yeah, it's the entire region.
Okay, pass that information to everyone but Phineas. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I'll stop, and be like, I think this is where things get a little thin. I'm just trying to crack of ice. I think we should take it slow moving from here on out. And I guess I'll proceed cautiously.
Yeah. If you want to actually like move at a slow pace, you can do that. You'll cover 18 miles a day.
Perhaps at least till we get past the thin sheets, we should start at a slower pace.
Better be safe than sorry.
Yeah. Slowing it down. How much did we cover? Should we be keeping track of mileage too? Or
yes, you should. The entire region between here and where you're going is the thin sheets, so it will. So you can move at a normal pace, or you can move slow for the entire trip. The choice is yours.
Let's do it slow to begin with. So
Okay.
we've gone 30 miles in day one. How far did we get on
24 miles on day one.
24 miles, sorry. In day two, we've gone how far? Until we hit the thin sheets?
You've gone about a total of 40 miles when you hit the thin sheets. So it was 16 miles into your travel on the day.
Okay. So we've... how much? Well, we'll move slow starting now, so whatever remaining mileage that gets us.
Yeah, so you can get about another 3 miles before it gets time to doing it. But you don't have any issues with ice. It seems like if you like move slow, then you become aware of the ice very easily. If you move at a normal pace, you'll just have to keep an eye out on it. Things.
If we move at a normal pace, can I just kind of like listen to everybody's footsteps a bit more?
Yeah, you can do that.
Do you want to be near the front? Like, should we change the marching order if we're going to try to move at a normal pace so you can
I
in
could
the
hop
middle?
in second. Right behind Ross, since he's leading.
For ill or for well. But for the remainder of day 12, we are going to slow it down, and then we can discuss this about starting day 13 at a normal pace, maybe?
Yeah. So you all settle in and have completed day 3 or day 12. You have not covered 24 miles because you slowed your pace towards the end, the latter portion of the day. So we'll say that you've covered, we'll call it 20 miles.
Okay.
But then the night comes. You're welcome to do a watch.
Try it again.
Yeah. If we think it's worth it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they did mention monsters, so they will come eventually.
Same order?
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Go ahead, roll a d20 for me then, Alkin.
Natural 1 on the d20.
Okay. During your watch, the wind picks up, and you begin to be able to see the snow, and it becomes so bad you retreat into the tent, and you look outside, and you just see like a thick wall of static that's like constantly moving. There's no way you can see through this, and you can hear the wind howling. All of you can. It's a snowstorm.
Alright.
Okay. Well, come inside. Stay warm.
The plan.
Yeah. You're welcome to like wake each other up, but like the snowstorm lasts throughout the night.
Just rough it out, I reckon.
Yeah.
All right. Next day, everybody's rested. Someone go ahead and roll me a d20. Mark off your rations.
That's my turn now. 5.
Great. How are you going to travel? You're going to travel regular pace and kind of keep an eye out. You're going to travel slowly and not worry about things.
Can we do something in between?
No.
Or just one of the two extremes? Either slow or fast? Or normal and fast?
Normal is the middle ground.
Gotcha. Okay.
Alkin?
Hmm?
We've had a little bit of time on the ice. You feel confident if we go back to a normal pace? You wanted to have a listen? Well,
Sure.
While
Good
we
try.
walk?
Cool.
Just don't get too far ahead.
All right, we'll start the day normal. Let's see if something goes
Yeah.
wrong. We might have to slow it down.
All right. Everybody go ahead. Just roll perception checks since you're kind of keeping an eye out. Or survival, if you want. You could do survival. Alkin, you do need to do perception because you are specifically listening. Cool. Yeah, so you begin trudging out onto the frozen sheets, your first full day on this thin ice. And as you venture off into what is another like foot of snow that you have to like dig your tents out of in the morning because of the snowstorm the previous evening, that is where we will end tonight's episode of Forged in Ice.
Woo!
Nice.
Yeah. So welcome to Eiselcross. Congratulations, you are level 2 now, everybody.
Whoop, whoop.
Fantastic job. You had some fun interactions, and you're going to save a family of 4. Isn't that nice? A little gay family of 4 being saved in Pride Month. That's going to be great.
The stakes are really higher now.
Yeah, if you fail and don't save it, then you're all just homophobes. Ooh, hey. So
You know what? I don't need
it's a hate
payment for this.
It's a hate crime. No, but you are preventing a hate crime. It's wonderful. Thank you so much. But I hope you're all having fun. This is a fun little adventure so far. So thank you all very much. Thank you, I've Got It, for being a great mod, being active in chat. Everyone, let's do our goodbyes, and I'll figure out who we gonna raid tonight. Let's start at the bottom with Phineas.
Yep. I'm at the bottom here, holding up the group. So I played Phineas, real name Mike. I want to wish Jared a very happy birthday.
Yes.
Pew, pew, pew.
Thank you. Yes. Yesterday was my
29.
birthday. Yeah.
But we
So-
didn't play yesterday, so.
You didn't play, yesterday. So, but love you, dude. So,
Thank you.
all the best.
And we were going to sing for you, but maybe not anymore.
No. I don't want to break the internet, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I've Got It says that we stand supportive bottoms. So congratulations. So thanks for being the supportive bottom of the stack, Mike.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Oh my.
Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Thank you, I've Got It. Next, we'll go up to Elixaros,
If that is my real name.
if it is your real name.
But I am played by Matt. That much is true. And we're having a blast in the... hopefully we won't catch the Blue Death and save this family of 4.
The Frigid Woe.
Same
There you go again. Man.
thing.
Making things
Now I'm going to have to make a disease called the Blue Death that is totally different, and have one of you catch it just to.
Oh man, do I have to? That time I did it on purpose.
I know.
Anyway,
That'll learn you.
I'm writing everything down twice now. I'm like struggling with names more than ever on this one. I was like, we're looking for an Uthor mustache. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please tune in next week to see what sort of names I butcher. And we'll see you in 1 week's time.
Wonderful.
Minus 3 hours.
And of course, that brings us up to Alkin.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week, and I think we have everybody next week, as far as I'm aware.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. And I have been Jared, your humble dungeon master here on Nuuli Forged and on Forged in Ice. Thank you all for being here. You can check us out on all the social media platforms. Well, on most of the social media platforms at Nuuli Forged, NUULIFORGED, on the Facebook, on the Twitter, on the Instagram, on the YouTubes. And give us a follow, give us a like, or whatever's appropriate to the platform. Subscribe. I don't know. Is there a rate system on one of them? I don't know. You can tell I'm the social media mogul here. But thank you all for being here. We're going to raid Alpha Aniki. They're getting ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons over there. Apparently, Pirate Trouble is what is the name of their show. So they're going to be pirating, which is cool. So let's hop in over there, let them know that they've been newly raided, and it'll be a fun times. Happy Pride Month to everybody. Be safe, be kind, be smart, and make good choices, and don't be a dick. Because, well, just don't be a dick. We're going to leave it at that. Thank you all very much, and we will see you next Wednesday right here at 7 p.m. for episode 4 of Forged in Ice. Have a great week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Woo.